Amanda resides in New York with her spouse Clay and their two kids, Archie and Rose. Amanda is employed in the advertising industry, while Clay is a professor. On a spontaneous note, Amanda decides to rent a charming house in Long Island for a quick family getaway. The place is fantastic, providing the family with a perfect opportunity to relax. However, things take a bizarre turn when, during a beach visit, an oil tanker crashes, causing widespread destruction. Thankfully, the family manages to escape in time, emerging unscathed from the unexpected danger.
Welcome back to Real Savant, where we bring you recaps of the most awesome movies and TV shows. From action, to horror, to comedy, to something the family will enjoy. We have something for everyone. Today, we bring you Leave the World Behind, where we follow a family's getaway to a luxurious rental home that takes an ominous turn when a cyberattack knocks out their devices and two strangers appear at their door. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update.
Upon their return to the rented house, they discover a frustrating reality. The Wi-Fi is on the fritz, and their phones and the TV are devoid of any signal. As if that isn't enough, later that night, a man named George and his daughter Ruth, both African American, show up at their door, claiming to be the rightful owners of the house. Amanda, not particularly fond of strangers, becomes wary and skeptical. She finds it hard to trust their explanation that they've come due to a citywide power outage. So, George and Ruth express their desire to spend the night at the house, but Amanda isn't having it. She flat out refuses. However, Clay is cool with the idea, and Amanda is left with no option but to reluctantly agree. The next day, they wake up to the alarming news of a national emergency due to a cyber attack on the country. Amanda, still grappling with the malfunctioning devices, gets hit with the reality of the situation. Clay, determined to gather information, steps out to buy a newspaper since their GPS is as good as dead. But here's where it gets even crazier. He ends up getting lost, stumbling upon a drone dropping leaflets. Talk about a bizarre turn of events. While all this chaos is unfolding, George decides to check on his neighbors to see if they're all right. At their place, he attempts to use their satellite phone, only to discover it's as useless as the others. It becomes clear that the satellites have taken a hit. As if that wasn't enough, he witnesses a plane losing control and crashing onto the beach. George heads back home, sharing with Amanda the alarming information he has gathered. Suddenly, an unbearable and persistent noise fills the air. Concerned for her children, Amanda rushes into the surrounding woods. When the noise finally subsides, she discovers her kids safe and sound. So when Clay comes back home with a leaflet, it turns out it's in a foreign language that none of them can understand. But wait, Archie, being the gamer genius, recognizes something alarming. The front page says, "Death to America." Freaked out by this revelation, Amanda and Clay decide they can't just sit around. Their plan? Escape to Amanda's sister's house in New Jersey. However, George, being cautious, tries to stop them, warning them of the potential danger. Unfazed, Amanda and Clay ignore his advice. Their escape plan hits a snag when brand new automatic cars start colliding, blocking the roads and trapping them. Despite Amanda's not-so-friendly behavior, George reluctantly lets them stay at his house, realizing that leaving is not an option at the moment. After the dust settles a bit, Amanda realizes she owes George an apology. In a heart-to-heart, George opens up about the true reason he appeared at their house in the dead of night. It turns out, one of George's highly influential clients had dropped a bombshell on him earlier. This client, out of the blue, mentioned an evil cabal that supposedly controls the world. The situation escalated when the client asked George to move his money and cryptically hinted at going off the grid for a while. Connecting the dots, George sensed something ominous was brewing. Taking it as a warning of an impending catastrophe, he swiftly got Ruth out of the city as soon as the blackout occurred. Talk about a plot thickening with global intrigue. In a surprising turn of events, George and Amanda find solace in each other's company and decide to dance away the stress of the day. Amidst the dance, George opens up about the grim possibility that his wife, who was supposed to fly back home, might be deceased. Amanda, no longer suspicious of George and Ruth, reassures him that they are united in facing whatever challenges come their way. The next day takes a darker turn when Archie, who got bitten by an insect the day before, starts vomiting blood and inexplicably pulling out his teeth. To make matters worse, Rose is now missing. Faced with this crisis, George pledges to assist Amanda in caring for Archie, emphasizing their newfound partnership in navigating the unforeseen troubles ahead. Meet Danny, the self-proclaimed survivalist who's always prepared for the worst. When Archie falls ill, George takes Clay and Archie to Danny's house to grab some medicine. Meanwhile, Amanda and Ruth venture into the woods in search of the missing Rose. The tension between Amanda and Ruth dates back to their first meeting. Amanda didn't treat them with much respect. Unfortunately, Amanda is still oblivious to the fact that Ruth is grappling with her own difficulties, desperately needing her mother at a time when her mother's whereabouts are unknown. The strained dynamic continues, with Ruth feeling like Amanda just doesn't care. Amanda remains steadfast in her perspective, asserting that her wariness of others stems from a deep understanding of the darkness within human nature. Despite her repeated claims of disdain for people, there's a conflicting desire within her to reconnect with them, to not become a person she despises. This revelation becomes a pivotal moment, fostering a newfound understanding between Amanda and Ruth. As they search for Rose, Amanda stumbles upon bicycle tracks and decides to follow them in hopes of locating her daughter. Meanwhile, Ruth finds herself surrounded by a herd of deer. In a twist of events, Amanda rushes to Ruth's aid, and together they manage to shoo away the deer. In this shared moment of vulnerability, they find solace and support in each other. The journey through the woods leads them to a clearing where Manhattan comes into view, providing a poignant backdrop to their evolving connection. Amanda and Ruth share a poignant moment, holding hands as they witness planes crashing and causing widespread explosions that engulf the city in flames. In another part of the chaotic scenario, George and Clay visit Danny seeking the much-needed medicine for Archie. However, Danny, driven by a determination to solely protect his family, flatly refuses to assist anyone, not even his friends. The situation intensifies as both George and Danny, adamant in their positions, draw their guns. A potential confrontation looms, but Clay intervenes, pleading with Danny for the necessary medicine. After tense negotiations, Danny relents, agreeing to provide the medicine in exchange for payment. The high-stakes moment reflects the harsh realities of a world in turmoil. Danny shares crucial information with George and the group, revealing that the Russians have evacuated their staff from Washington. He also discloses that the Thorns, George's neighbors, have constructed an emergency bunker. As the conversation unfolds, Danny discloses that leaflets in different languages are being distributed across various cities. Danny, deeply concerned about the United States having numerous adversaries, speculates that these forces might be collaborating to dismantle the country. In a startling revelation, Danny validates suspicions that George had kept to himself. George harbors knowledge about a three-stage maneuver capable of undermining a country's government from within. The initial stages involve cutting off citizens' communication and transportation, followed by creating chaos through acts of terror. The gravity of the situation becomes clearer, and the group faces the daunting realization of a coordinated threat aimed at destabilizing the nation. The unfolding crisis takes a darker turn as the first two stages, isolating citizens and sowing chaos, intensify, leading people to turn against each other, a trend already evident in the United States. George, aware of the imminent third stage involving a coup or civil war, realizes the urgency of taking action. In a bid to safeguard both families, George devises a plan to bring Clay's family and his own daughter to the emergency bunker mentioned by Danny. This strategic move becomes the only viable option to ensure their safety in the face of the escalating chaos. Meanwhile, Rose, perceptive to the unfolding events and viewing them as a warning, takes matters into her own hands. She sets out on a mission to secure her own safety amid the growing instability. The narrative intensifies as the characters grapple with the harsh reality of a society on the brink of collapse. In a bold move, Rose infiltrates the Thorns family's house, helping herself to whatever she fancies. Amidst the indulgence, she hears her mother calling her name, following the tracks Amanda has left behind. As Rose prepares to meet her mother, she's drawn to a mysterious light emanating from the basement. In a surprising discovery, Rose finds the emergency bunker, meticulously stocked with everything one could imagine. The bunker also boasts an emergency alert system that delivers a chilling message. The alert advises seeking shelter immediately, revealing that the White House and major U.S. cities are under attack, with rising radiation levels near populated areas. The gravity of the situation hits Rose, and the narrative takes a gripping turn as the characters confront the dire reality of a nation in peril. In a surreal moment amid the chaos outside, Rose stumbles upon a shelf stacked with DVDs. Her long-awaited wish comes true, as she finally gets to watch the last episode of Friends, something she had eagerly desired throughout the tumultuous events in the film. As the world crumbles around her, Rose finds solace and distraction in her favorite TV show. The movie concludes with this poignant scene, offering a surreal juxtaposition of personal comfort amidst the backdrop of a burning world.
If you managed to get this far, we sincerely thank you for watching the whole thing. If you have a movie or TV show that you want us to cover, just comment it down below. We might do a video of it in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out our playlist for more recaps.